bedtime. Go to sleep. Do not get out of bed.
Hello, everyone. My name is Heather. I'm one half of Pinkwell Designs, which is a hospitality interior design company. And we basically take ordinary hospitality spaces like Airbnbs and boutique hotels and make them into iconic, high-performing brands. Anybody in the Airbnb space, you have people that kind of treat it as a side hustle and you have people that treat it as a full-time business. And we are always promoting to treat it as a full-time business, do everything right. And then that's when you're going to get your best ROI and just your best results ultimately. So welcome to this series of the, we are live auditing existing Airbnbs that are up on Airbnb right now. So today we have this beach house that I wanted to take you guys through. And this is it right here. So first of all, I should actually show you guys, this Airbnb has a soccer field. It has an amazing outdoor space, and it really should be in the top 10% for sure, if not top 1% on Airbnb. It's in Florida. Look, there is an entire soccer field, a kids play area. Like, this is the perfect rental for families to have a nice beach vacation. There's a screened in pool. It's all like very new and renovated. Lounge area. Like, these people really got a lot of things right, but I'm going to tell you what we would still change in this property and why I think that they're still not in the top 10% on Airbnb. So we're going to specifically focus on the living room today. So I'm just going to go and find that again, wherever that went. Okay, right here. So the outside's amazing. And then we get inside and it's just a lot of white and it's very flat and there's not much happening. It's not very inviting. It's not an experience at all. You walk inside and you're like, okay, a couch, a floor, a door, and that's it. So in spaces like this, right away, first of all, it's a great open concept. Like, the living room and kitchen is really just one, which is amazing for function, but people struggle to decorate it because they don't know how to kind of zone out each of the areas. So right away, we want to pull the couch away from the wall. When furniture is all really pushed up against the wall like this, it kind of just reads like, okay, here's a couch, and put it inside. There's no really rhyme or reason as to why it's in there. It doesn't look curated, it doesn't look designed. It just looks like an afterthought. So we want to pull that couch away from the walls. I wanted to challenge myself and just try to use this existing couch because that's something that we actually do for our investor clients is when they come to us for our service that's called the B&B Boost. They would give us a property exactly like this. And they'd say, make an impact, make a change, but we don't want to spend, money that we don't need to spend. So things like couches, beds, high ticket price items, we really, 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 really try to keep them and make them work because then we're saving our clients money. So we are going to work with this existing couch. It's not the worst. It's not the best, but it's nice and big, which is good because this property sleeps a lot of people. So they got that right. So we're just going to pull it out away from the wall. And then secondly, we need a bigger rug. This is a lot of, this is something that people really mess up a lot. And by the way, if you are watching on Amazon, I'm going to just be highlighting some of the products that I'm talking about here. So go for, you can't go wrong with a jute rug. Honestly, it's super durable and it's great for a beach property because it just fits with the vibe. So I would do something that's all jute just for that, kids spilling stuff and just a high traffic area, but it needs to be way bigger. You want the couch to feel smaller than the rug. The rug should really be the biggest piece in the area. And also that's what's going to zone out the living room from the kitchen. When you have this little small area rug here, it really becomes an afterthought. And then you're not sure, am I in the kitchen? Am I in the living room? And not in a good way. You want the rug to zone out the living room. And then that's how you know that you're there versus the kitchen. So we're going to throw in a really large, oversized jute rug in that space. With large rugs and large sectionals like this, you have to do a large coffee table. So this one here, I actually know this one really well. We've used it a lot. I'm pretty sure it is either 30 inches or under. And a good rule of thumb is minimum 35 inches plus. Especially for a sectional like this, it's just gonna, anything less than 38 inches is just gonna feel really dinky and really kind of small and odd. So minimum 35 inches for a large space like this. Next, we're going to switch out this white chandelier. It just doesn't really go with the space, in my opinion. It's kind of a little bit more modern. It also just sort of disappears with the wall and the ceiling and the floors. So I want to throw in, I'm going to go jute again because it's just a very nice beachy natural material. And rule of thumb as well with lighting is for sort of a chandelier, you want at least, 24, 25 inches wide, because otherwise it's just going to look like a pendant hanging from the ceiling. I think a lot of people will see, more inexpensive lights that look pretty. And then some people forget to check the width. And if you're seeing like 17, 18, 19 inches, that is a pendant. That's meant to be hung in a group or over a kitchen island. It's not meant to be a standalone chandelier. So you want to make sure you're getting a big enough chandelier. Even though the ceilings are low, lots of these chandeliers are adjustable height. So you want to go for width, not so conscious about the height. Not a big deal. Okay, so next we are going to add just a ton of throw pillows to this couch. That's a great way to sort of make your existing couch feel intentional. We don't want to say, hey, we tried to save this couch because we wanted to save our client money. We want to say, yeah, we picked this couch on purpose and it's in here for a reason. So adding a lot of nice throw pillows does a really great job. I'm not loving the ones that they have on here currently, and there's not enough for a large section like this. So we're going to take all those pillows off, throw in just a ton of varying beiges, creams, again, jutes. I don't want to like overdo it with the jute, but because there's so much white and tile and this and blue, that's where we're bringing more of like the natural textures, so that we're leaning more into that beachy theme. So these are a couple that we use all the time. The ones I've linked here at Amazon, we use them in literally every project. You want choppable pillows too, because it just makes all of the difference. And something to know about a blue couch, if any of you have one. So in the color wheel, orange is the complete opposite. So that would be the color that you would use if you want the blue to pop. If you want the blue to be a little bit more subtle, you'd use something closer to blue on the color wheel. So that could be green. I don't know if green is the right choice for this, but then when in doubt, you can also just do a neutral, like a beige or a brown. And that's what we're going to do in this instance. So next is the ceiling. And this part is extremely exciting because this ceiling is just so flat. It's big. It looks like it just goes on for miles. It's white. And a lot of people get scared when, and I'm just eyeing this. I don't know, but I'm going to say that these ceilings are maybe 9 feet, but maybe even closer to 8 feet. They seem lower. People get really scared with low ceilings. They're like, I don't want to do anything on it because I don't want to bring more attention to the fact that it's a low ceiling. But like, people are walking into the property, they know the height and they're going to feel it regardless, right? So the thing that you want to do is double down on that and completely design the ceiling so it feels intentional. It feels like you know that the ceiling's low, but you don't care because you're in such an immersive, enjoyable experience. So in this property, we're actually going to do boxwood greenery on the whole ceiling. And some of you might think, oh my gosh, that's crazy, but it's such an experience, and it's such a different feeling when you walk into a room that's covered with that. It's just fun. And this is, again, a Florida property, beach property. We want to bring in the, natural materials and just kind of the outside in. We're not in a city where everything's cold and concrete. So I think that really fits the vibe. So, and actually a little note on faux greenery. To cover a large surface area, such as a ceiling, there's two different main types of greenery. There's some that are just consistent. They're the exact same style all throughout. And then there's some that's kind of have varying different shades, or some of it's longer, shorter. Hopefully I'm doing a good job of explaining myself. But for a ceiling, we're going to go all the exact same, because it's just, you don't want too much texture on a huge space like this. But if you're on Amazon, I've linked both for you, because we do use both. It just depends on what situation you're in ultimately. So I think, a couple more things. No, sorry, I'm missing a bunch of stuff actually. So on the, I guess I'm going to call it their current feature wall. I don't know if that's like tile or wallpaper, but I'm going to switch it up and do this very nice, like sort of beachy striped wallpaper, just light beige, dark beige. I think it's going to look really nice. So just because what they have right now is a little bit more modern, it's kind of clashing with the marble tile. So I just don't think it goes. So we're gonna do some nice sort of beachy wallpaper. And then where they have that existing art, we're gonna do a gallery wall, which is such a good hack if you have a large space and you don't know what to do there. Large art also can run pretty high in price. So rather than buying one piece, it's very, very easy to buy, 6 or 7 smaller pieces for an inexpensive price, and then create a curated gallery wall. You have a better statement, a much better impact, and usually it doesn't cost as much. So we're going to do that there. And then for the windows, we're going to just switch out the curtains. I do like how they have curtains there now, but we're going to do more of like a linen, nicer, just more on brand for the beach. We're also going to remove that little trough thing. Everyone calls that thing that different, that little thing a different name. I honestly don't know what it's technically should be called, but whatever that little flap thing is, we're going to take that off. So that's that. And I talked about coffee tables, and I think that's it. So I'm going to show you all what this room would look like if we did all these design upgrades. So let me show you. Boom. So you have to excuse my AI. It kind of glitched over here where you see this like coral triangle. I don't know why that's there, but just ignore that. But you can see how different this room is already. It is such a difference. You can still get away too with having a more modern tile. So like, we don't want to be doing intense renovations with these B&B booths, right? We want to do inexpensive, easy to install design changes to completely make a different, or create a different look, a different feel, but we don't need to be like ripping out the tile and things like that. So I think this just makes such a difference. And you don't have to change, every single room either, right? If you want to just focus on the main spaces, that makes a big difference too. The kitchen being white and wood now kind of goes better with this living room, in my opinion. And you don't really, like, I would still do something. I would kind of add a few things into the kitchen, but like you don't have to, right? It's not going to be like, whoa, it doesn't feel like 2 separate areas. So just this, this just feels warm, beachy, inviting. Curtains all the way up to the ceiling are just such a huge must. That's why I wanted to remove that trough thing. I don't know why I'm calling it a trough. That's just what I feel like it's called. The wallpaper is so subtle, but it still makes a difference. It brings in that beachy vibe. The gallery wall makes such a difference too. It's just more, it's more intentional. It's not like, oh, I just picked up this piece of art, from wherever. And another thing too, guys, I actually instructed my AI to do this, but it just erased them completely. But there was some ceiling fans. Oh, there's one right here. I told it and it didn't do it. I'm just noticing, but you can paint or recover your fan covers. So just because they're white, like I know the ceiling was white before, but you could do a deep green, you could cover this in wood, like you can make these match whatever it is that you do, just so they don't stand out so like ugly and out of place. But yeah, so subtle things, not a big install. Like this could all be done in one day. Very, very easy. If you're not handy, grab like a wallpaper installer to do the wallpaper, throw up the boxwoods on the ceiling, and you have yourself a brand new living room. So yeah, that's it for this design audit. And you guys should follow us on all of the places. We're Pinkwell Designs on Instagram, our YouTube channel. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, hello, thanks for being here. It's Pinkwell Designs Inc., INC on YouTube, and then just Pinkwell Designs everywhere else. And every Mondays and Thursdays, we are going to be doing these live listing audits. If you're interested in having your current listing audited, you can actually go to our website, pinkwelldesignsinc.com. And you're going to see a place that says submit my listing, and you can go there, submit your listing, and we will do one of these for your listing. So it's free design advice for you guys if you want to check it out. Otherwise, have a great day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you again soon.